April 18th, 2016. This is Radio Tokyo. I'm Jonathan. I'm your host. I'm excited because I have some amazing news. I actually had a pretty interesting conversation, or actually several interesting conversations earlier today. But first, we have a special guest. It's actually Nick, but he does not sound like a robot for once. Nick, what the fuck is going on? Why can I hear you a lot better than I have in the past? And why can everyone hear you better than they have in the past?
Well, first, I'd like to say hello, everyone. This is me, Nicholas, the person that's been on the show the entire time. I decided to finally get another headset because all of my headsets in the past have been failures. And for once, I found a really great microphone. And now everyone can actually understand me. And now I am clearly not a robot.
You're just a robot with more advanced software now.
No, I'm not a robot. How can a robot have a voice this sexy?
Have you not seen The Terminator?
I mean, yeah, but those were terrible movies as well.
You know what else is a terrible movie?
Not the Marvel movies?
I was gonna say your mom, but you know.
No. How many times do I have to tell you that we don't do the your mom jokes on the show? Because I like your mom and you like my mom. So why would we
I
do that
know,
to
but
our
see,
mom?
that's that is why I was going to say your mom, and then I was like, no, Nick's mom's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So instead of
But
doing that, I'm gonna have to bring up the one of the conversations I had. Now, this is not something I would normally discuss in the show, but I'm quite proud of myself.
okay.
Random conversation with a friend of mine turned into being sent some risque photographs. There, well,
Uh,
now here's the thing. It was not done for like perversiveness. This person enjoys taking photographs, and for starters, she's astoundingly beautiful. But she felt comfortable enough to actually take some posed pictures, and she wanted to know what I thought. So I got to see a friend of mine that I've had, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and I have long since told her that she is easily crushable. She's um, beautiful, she's intelligent, she's funny, she likes video games, she likes me, she's cool. So I've got to see her naked, and even more impressed than I thought I was going to be.
this is a really awkward thing to share on the show, but
No,
congratulations, I guess.
no, it's actually not awkward at all. I was actually surprised. Uh, okay, the reason I'm bringing it up is not because um it's not like spank bank material. It's actually good photographs of her, and she looks amazing. And I'm actually really proud of her for having done it. Not just for sending it to me. Uh, well, I am because it means she trusts me. She's someone who's had a lot of problems in the past, but she's had a lot of self-esteem issues, and I'm really glad to see her being able to acknowledge, you know, how far she's come in life and how amazing of a person she actually is. And the
See,
reason I'm mentioning this
now
is
that you explain that, it sounds much less awkward.
well, it wasn't supposed to be awkward to begin with, but I figured, having like a positive moment in the beginning of the show as opposed to Friday, when we talked about a certain asshole who I'm not going to mention. I thought that might be a better way to open the show. You know, because like I said, she's really beautiful, like inside and outside, and she's finally comfortable enough, and I sincerely wish that everyone could be that way. That we didn't have to have people who are ashamed, to be overweight or ashamed to have bad teeth or to wear glasses or whatever. Like it's a very positive thing, and like I said, I I was not only flattered, I was actually very honored that she showed the pictures to me because I am the first person she's ever sent them to. It wasn't done, for any, naughty reasons, but it was a little risque. But they're classy shots, and I'm mm, quite impressed.
Now we've returned to the awkward place. But anyways, congratulations to your
Well,
lady friend.
it has to go
Wait,
back to being awkward, you know
congra
that.
congratulations to your lady friend. And maybe she should pursue a career in modeling. Possibly.
She probably should, but she's a really, really good person. I'm quite glad to have known her
I,
and to
I'm
be friends with her. So
I'm also proud of her for feeling confident in herself. That's always a cool thing.
it is. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Hmm. So now, how do we go from our positive moment to raging about something? I feel awkward now. I don't know how
Oh,
to move
oh,
on.
oh, oh, believe me, I can go from something positive to raging about something because World of Warcraft Legion was announced today. Not just the game announced, like we've known that for nearly a goddamn year now. It's actually the launch date for the expansion is finally out. It's 2 days after my birthday, 4 months away. So this is essentially Siege of motherfucking Orgrimmar 2.0. Blizzard, get your shit together. The movie's coming out in June. Now we're waiting until August, nearly September for the expansion. This movie was supposed. Now, deep breath.
But weren't we
Guys,
expecting this already? Wasn't the initial release date supposed to be August 15th?
September the 18th. So we're a grand total of 20 days ahead of schedule. But the game is not even out of alpha testing. Like we said last week, there is this and this and this and this and this and this wrong. And I'm kind of upset. The reason I'm upset is I want Legion to be so good. I want it to be the best expansion ever. And like we discussed last week when we were talking about Nostalrius, I'm less than excited. We're having to wait 4 fucking months for this shit. That's enough time for it to be in beta testing, and it should have already been in beta testing. It should have already been beta tested, goddammit. The reason I say this is
I,
because
I
every other time they have beta tested, in fact, I have beta tested from Cataclysm to Mr. Pandaria to Warlords, and I'm sure I'll get into Legion at some point in time. Um, and I've been quite proud to beta test their games, okay? They never put the in-game content in there, but they at least allow you to get to fucking max level. Now, they haven't opened up all the zones in the alpha, and it being 4 months away tells me one of two things. Either they're going to have a very short beta testing process, which means that the game is complete and ready to go, or it's going to be horrible. And with what I am seeing from the alpha currently, I'm kind of leaning towards it being horrible, and I don't want to do that. I want Legion to be amazing, but at the same time, I'm getting distinct Cataclysm vibes from this, and I say that because we already know this is going to be a world-changing thing. In fact, the tagline for it is "Kingdoms will burn." Kingdoms will burn. Who else said kingdoms will burn? Oh, Deathwing. Only he said your world will burn. So the Burning Legion is coming to set kingdoms on fire as opposed to the Warden of Earth coming to destroy the planet. Okay, I'm not sold, Blizzard. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on this. And I don't want to go back to talking about Nostalrius, but I would like to have Nostalrius back if Legion is going to be uh, what it is that I sincerely hope it's not. I want the expansion to be good. I want to play it because I'm excited. I want to fight the Legion. I want to see Varian Wren die because I've never really been a fan of Varian Wren. Never have. Um, and I kind of want
I,
to
I,
see.
I actually grew to like Varian over the course of, I'd say, Miss. Yeah. I grew to like Varian.
He's had his moments. He really has. Um, but if you remember back to fuck, what was it? Wrath, when he was actually put in the game, there was in-game lore that was supported by some books and shit on the website and whatnot, you know. Especially for the changes that were made to Westfall and Cataclysm. And the reason for this is the whole reason for this is for those of you who are not up to date on why Varian Wren is a dick. Um, Wren basically impressed the entire Kingdom of Stormwind and what was left of Lordaeron. Basically, everybody else was brought into service to fight in the war in Northrend, and there were, and this is considered canon here, 22,000 casualties in the war in Northrend. 22,000 casualties. That is 3,000 people less than the population of the town that I live in. Okay? In other words, my whole goddamn town was killed. And the reality is, in the war in Northrend, most of these people were probably killed by the Scourge, which means they were probably resurrected in undeath. So not only are you killing your soldiers in a war, you're having to kill them again, and that's terrible and horrible. And it's actually established that the majority of soldiers that were recruited were not from Stormwind, they were not from Elwyn, they were not from Redridge, they were from Westfall. So a zone, historically, lore-wise, that has been fucked over by the Kingdom of Stormwind for years was all of a sudden impressed into service, and they're told, look, you're going to come fight for us. So that's why you have the storyline about people being killed, the Defias Brotherhood coming back, and that's why you have all of the homeless people from Stormwind there that are trying to find help. They don't have a home in Stormwind anymore because they can't afford to live there, and the only place it's available is to go squat on land in Westfall. Okay, Westfall sucks because of Varian Wren. Like, it's terribly bad. Essentially, Westfall is like, um, I don't really know a real world example here from the United States that I could go with. But basically,
Mississippi.
do it.
Mississippi.
Yeah, you could probably go with Mississippi. Uh, Although I would probably say somewhere more along the lines of Detroit. You know, an area where it's had just enough investment from the government to keep it afloat, but other than that, no one cares. You know, and Detroit and Flint and stuff like that are really shitty towns right now because they have a lot of problems, you know, especially infrastructure issues. But that's the problem in Westfall, and that's why um, the Westfall Brigade, when they came back, and this is actually confirmed lore here. When the Westfall Brigade came back to Westfall with Grand Stoutman and everyone else, they're like, "Oh shit, people are homeless. What do we do? Haha, build a wall. Build a wall. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? A long war where people died, and they come back and they build a wall to keep the people out who were coming in there to take the resources. Oh my god, World of Warcraft predicted Donald Trump. But no, really, it's kind of pitiful. And if you complete the Westfall storyline, you see exactly how pitiful it is. There are no resources to take care of the homeless people, almost all of whom are veterans from the war in Northrend. And think about that in the real world. That shit's horrifying. That's horrifying. You know, because this stuff goes on in real life. But this is what Stormwind has done to Westfall. Now, Duskwood had kind of the same issue, but Duskwood was far enough away and received so little reinforcement that essentially is operating on its own. Redridge is kind of the same way. Elwyn Forest is immediately under control of Stormwind, but like I said, all of the soldiers in Northrend, the majority of them came from Westfall, and Varian Wren um, basically strangled them out of their homes and their livelihoods, and then as a way of repaying the people of Stormwind, and well, actually the entire kingdom of Stormwind, he built the harbor, and then he put up some statues, and that's why you have the remodeling of Stormwind Keep, and that's literally established lore. That big ass statue there, that's in the middle of Stormwind Keep, that was Varian Wren honoring his own kingdom by having a statue of himself.
Granted, all reasons not to be particularly fond of Varian Wren. However, at the same time, he's probably come out as the best of the Alliance leaders, perhaps. Aside, well, High Tinker. Is a High Tinker Overspark? I can't remember.
Gelbin Mechatork is who you're thinking of, and no,
Yeah,
Mechatork has gone kind of crazy. And I say
okay,
that with
so we have him going crazy. We have the drawers having a civil war. We've had Greymane being Greymane. I don't. I never really got into what Greymane does exactly after the events of Gilneas.
stands around in bitches.
Yeah, so we have that, and then let's see. Uh, Tyrannus, or oh, she's been weird. You got Prophet
She's so
Velen, right?
weird. Tyrande is so weird that she completely changed her look, and she somehow adopted a very, very fake sounding accent.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on there. And then you
I
have,
mean,
well, we have
literally an
Prophet
accent
Velen.
that no other elf
Wait.
has.
We have Prophet Velen. Prophet Velen's cool, right? Right?
No.
What has Prophet Velen done? I mean, he hasn't done anything bad, has he?
He hadn't done anything good either.
Yeah, so of all the Alliance leaders, I'd say Varian's probably come out as the most likable, despite the kind of horrible treatment of humans.
No, Magni is still the most likable.
Well, yeah, but he's frozen in stone.
And
So,
hence, he never changes, so he's easily the most likable.
so you're just a fan of something that never ever changes.
I am a Republican.
Well, then I guess you're gonna hate the Civil War.
No. And wait, are you trying to segue here?
I am. I am. I think I did it pretty well.
You kind of did. You kind of did. But no. I don't hate the idea of the Marble Civil War. In fact, I am entirely Team Cap. And on screen right now, those of you who are watching at home, you're seeing Diana. This is a edited version of Diana, obviously, and it doesn't exactly work, but she's on Captain America's body. So yeah, Diana is definitely in favor of Captain America.
I think at least 80% of people are in favor of Captain America. I even in the Marvel, well, okay, in the Marvel comics, Iron Man was much more of an asshole, so no one particularly liked Iron Man's side.
Have you met Robert Downey Jr.?
Well, yeah, but he wasn't in the comics. He's in the movies. So people are more open to Iron Man's side this time because, it's Robert Downey Jr. and
Who
he's pretty
who
damn
who
charming.
is still a jackass, but he's a likable jackass.
Yes, yes. See, here's the difference, and here's the major difference between the Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I almost want to say that Marvel does a better job making movies than it does comics, at least in the past 10 or 20 years. Because some of their comic storylines have been pretty damn bad. I'm very sad to say, because I'm a fan of Marvel. But they've been pretty damn bad. Civil War was pretty horrible. Spider-Man storylines have been pretty horrible. Um, the list goes on. They had to drop Fantastic Four, and on and on and on and on. However, they have somehow made, well, no, Robert Downey Jr. has made Iron Man a likable jackass, which is what he's supposed to be. And it makes Civil War much more tolerable of a storyline than it would have been otherwise. Because now I can almost see Iron Man having a point. Almost. Not really, but almost.
It's still kind of not really.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much not really. But,
Well, see,
I
okay,
mean,
look, if
well,
they had been able to really
I'll put it like
sell
this.
the whole idea of having, like the Iron Curtain, whatever the fuck it was called, type thing around the planet, that would have been cool. But they were not able to do that. So what you get is a lot of suckitude and boredom and him being an unnecessary asshole to everyone around him, and that's not okay with me.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Man has always been this weird. He flies around in the freaking iron suit, okay? He's cool as fuck as a hero. I mean, I wouldn't say he's Batman cool, but he's up there. However, his character is just so unlikable as a person in a lot of
So you're saying,
ways.
so you're saying, you want to walk up to him and say, "Tell me, do you bleed?"
Yes, I bleed because I'm a human and not a robot.
I'm telling you, the Ben Affleck Batman voice is so much easier to do because I'm not having to do this.
We all know that Ben Affleck is the best Batman.
He truly, truly is. But you know what? Okay, look. Speaking of best, like I don't want to get away from the Iron Man topic here, but I kind of do because I think it was last week when we were supposed to have discussed this. There were a couple of new trailers released. One of which, well, it wasn't really a trailer. It was
Well,
clips. Clips. There was one from Civil
yep.
War, and it is the first, I guess, face-on image we've gotten of Crossbones for this. At least in one of them, it's first. And it's not really exactly face-on. It's kind of an angle, but it's actually Crossbones, and I have to say, I am impressed. He looks like a badass, and uh, it kind of looks like he has um like power gauntlets or some shit on his hands, and I'm kind of wondering, are they going to Batman him up and him use gadgets, or is he going to be like he is in the comics and just be a murderous dickwad who is a ripoff of the Punisher with a mask?
I could see them going either way. I haven't watched much of Agents of Shield, but I remember a couple of storylines of them using enhancement serums to power up some of the Hydra people. I could see them doing that as well. I guess go kind of in a Bane almost way with him.
Well,
Um,
Bane, yeah, but I think what they're going for, and I really don't want to say this, I guess,
Also,
because
wait, have you seen the Daredevil yet? Or the new season of Daredevil yet?
No, actually, I haven't yet. Because
You have to see it. It is the perfect portrayal of Punisher. It is beautiful. It is everything. It is everything Batman versus Superman wishes it could have been.
hey,
I'll put it like
hey,
that.
hey, hey, we are
I'm
not
not saying
bad
it's
mouth.
a
We
bad.
are
I'm not.
not. Look here, young man. We are not bad mouthing Batman versus Superman. Okay, that is the
That's
that
not
look
bad
look.
routing.
Damn it, that
That's
is
not bad
look
routing.
look. That is the best superhero movie of the year, and we're going to leave it at that because the only thing that will be able to top it will be Suicide Squad, which we're getting to in a minute. Because there's oh, how can I put this? There is a medically odd topic I want to get to after Civil War.
Your DC fandom is showing it. Anyways, back on topic. So, I mean, Crossbones is obviously going to be using guns because it's Crossbones. It would be really weird if he wasn't. Um, as far as gadgets, I could see him using a couple. There's been a lot of gadgets and tricks with a lot of the heroes, so we've seen Black Widow using a lot, Falcon using some, Ant-Man. I can see him using gadgets. I'm not sure what else they might do with him though.
That actually reminds me of what I was going to say. Or the thing I didn't want to say rather. Um, since they're both owned by Disney, I kind of get the impression that Crossbones in the at least in the movie is going to be kind of Darth Vadery. Now, if you remember uh, the last
You think?
Captain America movie that I just forgot the fucking name of, like an asshole, Winter Soldier. Don't
Winter Soldier?
I don't know why I forgot that, but yeah, Winter Soldier. Um, you do see him basically get burned and beat up and shit and everything, and he's dragged out of the water or whatever. So that's kind of like Darth Vader on Mustafa, and when he's burned. Oh wait, speaking of this, I have to derail my own conversation here for a second. Uh, have you seen the robot chicken joke about that yet?
I don't think I have actually.
It was, I don't know, a week or two ago, and it was showing Anakin and Obi-Wan having a fight, and of course, uh, Obi-Wan has the high ground, Anakin, the high ground, and like every sentence he mentions, he just randomly inserts high ground, and Anakin is sitting there, burning to death, and he's like, "Can you please help me? For God's sake, help me!" And Obi-Wan's like, "No, Anakin, high ground, Anakin, no, I have the high ground. I can't help you because of the high ground." And Anakin's like, "For God's sakes, just kill me!" And he's like, "No, Anakin, that wouldn't be the high ground way." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Oh my God! Put him out of his misery. Like at the end of it, I was kind of begging the TV to give me Obi-Wan Kenobi murdering Anakin Skywalker because I felt so bad. It's just like high ground all the time. I'm like, please, please kill him, but no. Anyway, uh, that's kind of the impression that they give you of
Oh,
Crossbones' creation is that they're going to bulk him up with medicine and technology, so he's kind of like Darth Vader. And
oh,
like the
I
image
think
that you see of him, he's got like these power gloves and the mask, and I'm like, oh shit, high ground, high ground.
maybe. Um, oh yeah, but getting back to the clips. Well, which ones should we talk about first? The conversation between Tony and Steve, or the fight scene?
Well, I think everyone knows, the basic conversation between Tony and Steve. But what I want to talk about, mostly because we've only got the two screenshots here, at least that I bothered to upload, because I got kind of lazy. Um, I want to talk about the conversation about Captain America forming his team and then Ant-Man because honestly, honestly, I love Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd and just this sequence. Um, Now I know I said earlier, that Dawn of Justice is going to be the greatest, excuse me, superhero style movie this year. But if I'm basing what I think is going to be the best one off of any one scene, it is the scene where Ant Man meets Captain America. Like that sells the movie so hard because it's just like, you know what? I would do that too. I would see Captain America and be like, I'm shaking your hand too long. Right? So it's like, oh my god, he's having a fanboy moment. And the reason I think that is so important here is um, he's becoming very relatable to the audience. And that's why I think Deadpool was so successful because Deadpool was able to be like, look, I like the same shit too, and here I am doing it. Woohoo! High ground! High ground! No, no, uh,
Did did you see the Ant-Man movie?
yes, 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 I did.
Yes, yes,
And,
yeah.
and
It was so good. It was so surprisingly good. I did not expect it to be that good. And I like
it
Paul
was good.
Rudd, but I did not expect him to be. I didn't expect him to be the perfect Ant-Man, and he
He's,
turned
he's,
into the.
he's an incredibly likable. And that's what I think, like I said, I think that's why that feeling was carried over to Deadpool, and that's why in this one scene, Paul Rudd is just essentially fanboying over Captain America, and then and like when he turns around and looks at Scarlet Witch, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know you too. You're cool, but yeah, I'm taking your hand too long." And then there's the little discussion that references the fight between him and Falcon, which is just hilarious because Falcon's like it's not gonna happen again, and Paul Rudd's like just sitting there just shaking his Captain America's hand like, yep, it's gonna happen again. Oh shit, and I love it. It made me so happy, and I think, like I said, if I'm gonna judge a movie based off of one scene, that's got to be it. Now, that's before we get to Suicide Squad because you can call me a DC fanboy all you damn well please. Suicide Squad's got me excited, but like I said, I want to get to the medically odd discussion at some point
Well,
in time before that.
hold on. I mean, there's so much for Civil War to discuss, though. I mean, I have a feeling we're going to be discussing Civil War like we were discussing Batman versus Superman. Um, it
Probably,
just we're gonna.
probably, probably. But like I said, I want to talk about um, the physician oddity.
You want to talk about Doctor Strange
Yes, I'm going to talk about Doctor Strange.
and how
I,
biased you are
I,
against him?
I'm not biased for starters. I'm angry.
You're-
The reason I'm angry. And by the way, my position on Doctor Strange has actually gotten a little bit more nuanced after I went back and watched it and did some thinking about it. First off, I want to lead with um, I don't remember the character's name, but it's the role that Tilda Swinton is playing in this. For starters, one, why is this a woman? Two, why is it Tilda Swinton? Three, why is it a white woman? Four, why is it an English white woman? The character is supposed
That
to be
is the
Mongolian.
that is the one problem I've had with the trailer. I was really confused about that. I was like, why is she giving that speech and why is she there?
Yeah, and see, I found something out today, and I wish I had kept the graphic loaded for this. Uh, do you remember the Ghost in the Shell uh, announcement, the picture of Scarlett Johansson last week?
Yeah.
I did I didn't think about this then. I thought about it today, and it kind of pissed me off because it was announced that apparently the studio Now they have of course vigorously fucking denied this, but it's already been announced that they tried to find ways to make her look more Asian. Why?
It it
Why?
doesn't make
Why?
any
Why?
sense.
Why would you make Scarlett Johansson look more Asian when you can hire a Japanese actress to play a Japanese character in a live action movie of a Japanese cartoon? It's not that difficult. I could probably name two individuals off the top of my head if I could remember their names to begin with, because I forgot them in my anger because I kept seeing pictures of them next to Motoko Kusanagi. Because yes, I can pronounce her fucking name because she's Japanese. I am a Ghost in the Shell fan. Motoko Kusanagi is not Scarlett Johansson, even though they have the same syllables, and that's cool. But no, Hollywood, please, please, for fuck's sake, please don't keep whitewashing these characters. That said, before I get
And well,
before
hold
I
up.
go off on a rant here about ontological
Well,
empiricism,
I
I
want to
want to
go
talk
off on a
about
rant about
Doctor
something too.
Strange because I have some thoughts I want to express about this. But anyway, go ahead, finish your sentence.
I I I I don't understand how, why, what is going on with Hollywood. It in today's media age where there's so much political correctness and Hollywood's supposed to be so liberal and so sensitive to people's cultures and things like that, why on earth do we keep whitewashing shit? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. We've had this with Avatar The Last Airbender. We've had this with Gods of Egypt. We've had this with um Here Now and Doctor Strange. And it's what is wrong with actually casting someone from the cultural background when the cultural background matters to the actual character? It it it's infuriating. Oh, like okay, if you're just a random character, you know, where your background doesn't really matter, I can understand hiring someone else to play the character that doesn't exactly fit the background. However, these are all characters where their background matters. Their culture matters because that's what makes them who they are and have the story that they have and have the abilities that they have. It- That's why it it yeah. So yeah, okay, I'm done. We can go
But
back to the
okay,
pretty
look, okay,
graphics.
okay. Like, I don't remember if I said it on the show last week or just you in general. But I think that's part of the reason I just muted. I think it's part of the reason why um I have such a problem with this movie and why I am not impressed with it, because everything I have seen so far, sure, it's beautiful, but really, why should I give a shit about these characters? Because I'm not aware of any point in time where they're going to be actually bringing Doctor Strange in the fold with anyone else. It's kind of like the Fantastic Four. Like, why do what the fuck do I care about the Fantastic Four?
Strange is supposed to be going in the future storylines.
Okay, well that's cool and all,
So
but I just it's not that I dislike Doctor Strange. It's like I believe I did say this last week on Friday's show. Um, he's kind of the superhero where he just has all the powers and he gets those magical items, and it's like he is a like it's like he's a little kid's version of a superhero, and that's fine and dandy and everything, but it's cool to have the the unbeatable person in there, whatever. But the reality is, if you're going to do that, at least keep it accurate. Now, I'm not saying that Cumberbatch's version of him is inaccurate. I'm saying this goes back again, Tilda Swinton. Why is Tilda Swinton in the goddamn movie? It's not that I dislike Tilda Swinton. It's not that I think she's not talented. I just want to know, why is she in the movie? Because the role she plays should not be a Tilda Swinton role. The rest of the movie is fine. It looks visually amazing, particularly the scene where you see him falling through what I guess is infinity, and it's just New York like folding in and around itself. That is one of the best looking CGI sequences I have ever seen in my life. I am excited for that because it's visually stunning. I just want to know, why is this person being changed? Now, it's kind of like
I well,
it's kind of like the
hang
changes to the Nolan universe with the Batman films. Specifically Ra's al Ghul. Now, you notice I'm not saying Raish al Ghul because his name is not Raish al Ghul. It's Raz. Goddammit, look it up. It's an Arabic word, Raz. God damn. Anyway, actually, his entire name is Arabic, so fuck you. He is from the green parts, not America. He is not. He is not. He is not. He is not. He is not Japanese. He does not live in Mongolia. He's Muslim. Okay. Anyway, now that I've established this, sure, it was amazing that they had Ken Watanabe portraying him because sure, that made him kind of Middle Eastern-ish. Uh, but then you had Liam Neeson portraying him. Well, why is that supposed to be? Why did they have Liam Neeson portraying him? Why didn't they get someone correct? Da-da-da. Well, they threw you a bone and had a Japanese man portray him to try and fuck with you, but in reality, we all knew it was going to be Liam Neeson, and they carried that, and Nolan carried that over to Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, and the problem with this, and we've discussed this before, is that Bane is supposed to be South American, but yet you had Tom shit on his face Hardy portraying him, and he talked like this, and it was quite interesting. It's like, I am an Englishman with a stick up my ass and a mask on my face. And I'm like, no, this is not Bane.
that that was actually a great impression.
I'm told I do a good Bane.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I. There are more than enough actors that would be willing to pay an arm and a leg to star in some of these movies.
Nick,
There is no shortage of actors. It's Hollywood.
Nick,
Just find appropriate actors, please. It's not difficult. It's not that damn
Nick,
hard.
Nick.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you bleed?
Yes, I do.
You will. No. Anyway, but yeah. Like back to the point. You don't need to change certain things about certain characters. I mean, like it's fine. The average person's not going to give a fuck about Tilda Swinton's character, and the average person didn't give a shit about Tom shit on my face Hardy portraying Bane, and most people didn't even realize that it was Ra's al Ghul. And no, whatever. I'm like, just fuck it. Please at least make the movie good, because you know I'm not the biggest Doctor Strange fan, but I am aware of Doctor Strange. I'm aware of his importance, and I'm kind of worried that they're going to do this movie and it's going to be horrible and I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be angry, but it's really good that it's coming out at the end of the year because all the amazing shit's coming out first. And it's not that I don't want to keep talking about this. It's just I want to talk about
Well,
Suicide Squad. I
yeah,
want to talk about
no,
Suicide
no,
Squad.
no,
I want to talk
no,
about Suicide
no.
Squad. Let me
You will
talk
wait.
about
You
Suicide
will wait
Squad.
until you will wait until you're done with Doctor Strange, because I'm excited for Doctor Strange, and it looks amazing. And one of the cool things that I read about the movie is that they're actually doing things in this movie that have never been done before in cinema. And I'm really curious to know what exactly that is. Is this going to be such a... Because it looks like a visual masterpiece. It really does. Um,
Never
the
been done
shot with New
before in
York.
cinema?
the shot with New York splitting into like a bunch of different pieces. The scene in the hallway where everything's moving like it's in a kaleidoscope. And that was just in the trailer. And this was actually, in my opinion, one of the better trailers that I've seen lately because it didn't really give that much away of the story. It looked like it was all the trailer things were mostly from the first act, as far as I could tell. Before he gets his powers and all of that. So it was really a great trailer to me. Um, but I really want to know what exactly are they doing in the movie that's so different? Is this going to be the equivalent, the next Avatar almost? Just from the visual and technical cinematics? Because that would be amazing if we have a comic book movie that reaches that level of difficulty and technicality. I mean, that would just be really cool to me.
And do you know the last movie to reach that level of technicality and difficulty?
Uh, Avatar?
That would be Batman: The Dark Knight Rises. No, like, for fucking serious here. Okay. If you want to talk about a movie that actually managed to accomplish some seriously fantastic shots, it actually would be Dark Knight Rises, and that is because of Christopher Nolan's um, how can I put this, insanity. Um, for example, the opening shot of Dark Knight Rises, where they're on the airplane, that was actually practically done. That wasn't CGI at all.
Which is pretty damn amazing.
It is,
I mean,
actually, I take it back. There was only one part of it that was actually done on like a sound stage or something like that, and that was when they were actually inside the plane. But everything else, including all the people on the outside of the plane, actually flipping the goddamn thing over in midair and everything else, that was actually done. They actually did that shit. They actually did that, and it's almost as impressive to me as I just forgot his name. Tom Cruise having climbed the Burj Khalifa for whatever number the Mission Impossible movie was, but no, like, that's seriously amazing to me to have done stuff like that. But
well,
I actually
but
am genuinely excited about.
I really want to, but wait, I really want to know what are they doing that hasn't been done before? Like, what could they be doing with Doctor Strange? And the character is actually really cool for doing things that have never been done before, because as we said, he's basically an all-powerful hero. Um, so I mean, w when you have that kind of open paintbrush or o open, canvas to work with. I mean, what could they be doing with that? And that's something I really am excited about for Doctor Strange.
I am too, and I for as much shit as I want to give the movie, because I actually am worried that they will screw up Doctor Strange. At the same time, I am excited because again, I am aware of what Doctor Strange does and how cool he actually is of a character.
Well,
I just
I
I
trust
just don't
Benedict
want to see
enough.
him screwed up. But if the movie is actually going to be um as cool as it is visually, and that's what we're going to get, I'm happy. And can we talk about Suicide Squad now? Damn it, please! I can't.
Well, I just want to say,
I am full tilt white girl at this moment. I cannot even pretend that we do not have it to discuss. I want to talk about Suicide Squad.
I just wanted to say I trust Benedict to portray
No, 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 no,
at least
no,
a good
no.
Doctor Strange.
No, no. There's nothing else to say. I have been waiting patiently to get to talk about Suicide Squad, damn it. You have made me talk about Marvel.
Hey,
You have made me say nice
you're the
things.
one.
You
You're
have
the
made me
one.
say nice things about Marvel movies. I want to talk about DC movies because this is DC year, damn it. This is time for a DC movie to be amazing. And we've already had Batman fighting Superman, which every nerd in the history of mankind has wanted to see for a long time now. So we got it, and you were not happy with it. I was. I thought it was good. I want to talk about Suicide Squad. God damn it!
Hey, you're the one that wanted to do Marvel first.
No, no, I did that because you were like, "Well, can we talk about Marvel?" Sure, we can talk about Marvel because I know and you know that if we discussed Marvel, you would talk about it all day, and then you would make me talk about it all day. But I want to talk about DC because I want to talk about Suicide Squad because Suicide Squad is far, far and away more interesting than just about anything else you're going to see. And I really want to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it.
I do have to say, I'm much, much, much more excited and hopeful about Suicide Squad than I am for Batman versus Superman. Personally, I think
No,
it's going
no,
to
no.
be
Look.
the better one.
Your level of excitement must maintain the same level of excitement for Suicide Squad that you did for BVS. Nah,
No, 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 no,
I don't give a
no,
shit if you didn't like
no,
BVS.
no.
I don't give a shit if you didn't like BVS. This is
No,
DC's year.
from the very damn beginning, I told
This
you
is
I was
DC's
more
year.
excited
You're
for
going to be excited.
Suicide Squad.
You are going to, at minimum, be excited as you were about BVS because I know you. I know you. You have already expressed some concern about Suicide Squad being bad. So you're going to
No,
maintain
that
you
was
you are
because
not
of the recent
no sir
news. That was the recent news.
you are not allowed
No,
to be
no.
all hyped up about
I
this.
told you. No. I told you way back when we first saw the trailers for Suicide Squad, I was way more excited about Suicide Squad than I was for Batman versus Superman. Just because it was a movie that looks fun. It looks fucking fun. It looks damn fun. And it looks like I would like enjoy the shit out of this movie. And I'm hoping to God that I will.
Now, look, the reason we all know you're going to enjoy this is because of Margot Robbie. And for those of you at home right now, you're getting to see some of her tattoos. Nick says
Really?
Nick said that I did this on
Really?
purpose. I did this on accident. I was taking really quick
Really?
screenshots of the trailer, and I'd like to point out that she does have some tattoos we couldn't see before, and they're cool. And the whole and actually, I did decide to go with these because there is a point in time in the movie, and I do actually want
I
to
want
discuss.
everyone to know I didn't
I
approve of
shut
the
up,
screen
damn it, shut
capture.
up. I'm making a point here. I'm making a point here. Okay. The reason that I left this in is because they make a I'm worried about what they're going to do to Harley. Okay. I'm actually worried
I'm very worried
about
about
what they're
that.
going to do with Harley Quinn. Uh,
I'm very, very worried about that.
not okay. Look, all levity aside here, uh, Margot Robbie's beautiful. She's amazing. She's talented and everything. But I'm actually worried that they're going to make Harley Quinn be a sex symbol. And we talked about this before when they did the ass shot. When she kind of leaned over and it's like really purposely showing off her butt. So this is just her kind of rolling her hips and everything as she changes clothes into her high heels and tight booty shorts and everything else. And I'm like,
No, no,
look, damn it,
no, no. Well,
please
actually,
don't.
I have a bigger problem. I have a bigger problem with what you're doing with Harley. Because the coolest thing about Harley has always been that she chose the Joker. That she actually chose the Joker, chose
No,
to
she
be
didn't.
with the Joker. Huh?
No, she did not ever choose a Joker. We have actually had discussions about this on the show. Um,
Well, I mean, she was clearly manipulated by the Joker, but she allowed herself to be manipulated. That's what I'm saying. Um, In this, from what I've heard, is the Joker just takes her, puts her in a vat of chemicals, and then tortures her until basically she follows him.
which
Or
is
at least
actually
that's what I've
pretty
heard.
accurate to the comics.
I think I think this. Okay, how do I put this? I don't like this change because I think the portrayal of emotional abuse, especially from the cartoons in the 90s, is much more impactful and powerful than we all know that the Joker obviously physically abused Harley as well. But it was the emotional abuse that was really the key to her character and character development and her loyalty to the Joker. And if they don't capture that, this no matter how good Margot is, or how much fun she's having with Harley, it will not be a great Harley. I'm sorry. It won't be.
And that's my concern. I didn't want to really acknowledge it at first, but I kind of get the impression that she's being put in here uh, because she's pretty, and they're gonna be like, oh look at ass, oh look she has tits, oh look she's beautiful. I I
That's
like Harley
also
Quinn. I
another
like
problem
Harley
with the
Quinn,
other female characters.
and I'll be honest, I do enjoy the fact that sure, she wears skimpy clothing, sure, whatever, that's fine. I'm a man. I think the sexuality thing is fine, whatever. But the reality is, uh, that aside, she does have a story. She has an important story. It's a valuable story. It's relatable. Because as we've discussed on the show
Well,
before,
another problem. Well, but the thing is, it's not just Harley; it's the other female characters as well in Suicide Squad. Enchantress looks completely different, and way more sexualized in a far more drastic way than Harley, actually. And oh God, what's her name? The Japanese woman.
why did you
What's
ask
her
me
name?
that? I could have told you had you never asked me that.
See, now we're just stuck here looking
Anyway,
like
anyway,
like
anyway,
idiots.
moving on for a
Anyways,
second
but
until you think of her name.
why does she have a
Um,
midriff? Why does she have a midriff? Midriff. Why?
okay, look, okay. The thing with Enchantress is, I hate to say this, um, but her costume is traditionally very boring. It's a green robe and a green witch's hat, and that is boring. That
But
doesn't
but that
that
but
that
that's
doesn't.
what she wears.
I know, I
That's
know,
what
I
she
know, but
wears.
see, they've kind of altered the costumes for everybody in the movie, and that's fine, I
Katana.
guess. Yeah,
Katana.
Katana. Yeah, like that. They've kind of altered the costumes, so I'm kind of iffy on
I'm
Enchantress.
not. I can accept Harley's change. I can kind of accept Katana's change. I cannot accept what they did with Enchantress. It does. It's ridiculous. The change is ridiculous. It is almost as bad as a sin as Doctor Strange with what we discussed earlier. I won't say it's as bad, but it's pretty damn close in my mind.
Well, okay, look, here's the thing. Like I said, her typical costume is kind of boring. I mean, like she's up on screen right now for those of you who are wondering. Now Carla Devine or Delavine, however how you pronounce it, is not a physically unattractive woman, and she's a model, and I think that's why the change was made is to show off her physicality rather than just her magical powers. I'm really not sure, uh, but I do. it, it, it's not that I'm unconcerned about the change, because they do specifically reference her comic appearance, like rather than like a moon necklace or whatever it is, she has the moon crown, and that's supposed to help control her powers and everything. But I think in order to better visualize the way she's supposed to be in the like to have her powers manifest, I think that's part of it, and I don't know. It's a weird decision making process. Really, it is. But I kind of
Just
feel
admit it's a bad choice.
I, I'm gonna have to see her in action before I can say whether I generally think it's a bad choice. But I am not unconvinced that Enchantress is not the villain in this, and the only drawback to that is if you listen to when Captain Flag is talking about setting up the team, he says uh, stuff like shoots people, burns people. He's a crocodile. He eats people. You're possessed by a witch, and then he talks about Harley Quinn, and she's just crazy. She's talking about the team. But you don't see Enchantress in the team lineup at all. So at some point in time, she is being spoken to by Captain Flag, and then she's never there the rest of the time. So I kind of secretly feel that she is the bad guy. Like, she's the villain in this. And I think they wanted to make her as
Uh,
visually distinct from the rest of the team as possible. I don't know. Like, I can tell you a dozen reasons why, the costume change for Enchantress is there, and the reality is, I don't fucking know. I really don't know. Uh, so
I think the Joker is going to be the bad guy.
from what I understand, from what I generally understand about it, the Joker is going to be mostly like a flashback character. And now I think that's going to be because, like we've talked about before, I think the scenes we've already seen with him, they don't seem to be current events. They seem to be like a flashback type thing. And if that's what it's
Well,
going to
yeah.
be, cool. If it's not, cool. Whatever. It's the Joker. I'm excited for Jared Leto. So
Although I heard he was doing very weird things on set. Very, very weird things.
probably weirder than Heath Ledger ever thought about being realistic. I mean, like it's kind of scary some of the stuff that he's been acknowledged to have done. Like sending people, dead hogs and giving Margot Robbie a dead squirrel and shit like that. I'm like, oh,
And
that's
you use condoms.
yeah,
Don't forget to use condoms.
I mean, Heath Ledger just did a lot of cocaine and drank alcohol and locked himself in a hotel room for a month. Then you, Jared Leto, have clearly gone a little bit beyond that. I'm like, actually, I'm not
I'm
concerned.
worried if
I'm not.
I'm actually wait, I'm actually genuinely concerned if someone plays the Joker after this and they feel that they need to go even more crazy. I'm genuinely concerned for the actor playing the Joker now.
I am, but at the same time,
Especially after Heath Ledger committed suicide.
how can I put this? How can I put this? Um, I think Jared Leto's going to be awesome. I really do. But really the only concern that I actually had about Leto as a Joker is that from what everyone that was on in the movie and in the cast and everything that has said about him, there is not one moment in time where he actually broke character. So he was essentially walking around as the Joker. Like, he insisted people refer to him as Mr. J and stuff like that, and he refused to acknowledge that he was Jared Leto. And I'm all for method acting, but that's kind of a stretch to me, you know?
Yeah. Method acting is when you go experience what happens for a week or a month or even a year. You don't really do it when you're shooting. Right? Not like
I mean, like
that.
we are straying into Shia LaBeouf in Fury and actually ripping out one of his fucking teeth with a plier, a pair of pliers type
Yeah,
method acting here, and that's what concerns me. Uh,
yeah.
but at
That's
the
concerning.
but at the same time, at the same time, I think regardless of whatever changes they've made to the characters, regardless of what process the actors went into getting into these roles, I do think it's going to be very, very, very good. Um,
It's going
and
to be
I'm
fun. It better be damn fun. I will be shocked if it is not one of the most fun movies that I've ever just sat and watched.
Well, that goes back to the whole reshoots thing. For those of you who don't remember, there are going to be massive reshoots on Suicide Squad because uh,
But
I
that's
believe it
where
was
the
the
one
director of
thing
the movie who said
I was
that.
concerned about.
I believe it was the director of
That's
the
why
movie
I was
who
concerned
said
about Suicide
that.
Squad. Because they're doing not just reshoots, massive reshoots. What exactly does that mean? And how much are they changing?
Okay, like what I was trying to say before you kept talking over me is that I believe it was the director who said that every joke in the movie is actually in the trailers. So we have, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes total of humor. You know,
That's a problem.
it is, but at the same time, it it kind of excites me.
No,
Because and
no, no.
the reason I say this is because Suicide Squad is actually a very serious story in the DC universe. I mean, we're talking about people who are genuinely bad people. You know, like they're bad guys. You know, they've all been in Bel Rev, they've been in Arkham. They're bad people. You know, and the government is fucking them over to get what they want. And in order to do that, the government is blackmailing them. Well, not really blackmailing them, but they're going to kill
Forcing
them
them.
with a bomb in their head. So they are, everyone involved is free of any liability whatsoever because if they screw up, they can just kill them and they're bad people. So it's like bad people being forced to do good things at gunpoint. That's actually some seriously dark shit. That is like impressment of former Nazis dark shit, you know. So that's basically what's
I,
going on.
I get that, but at the same time, Suicide Squad has to be fun in order to work, or it just becomes too dark and depressing.
Well, of course it'll be
Sorry.
fun. They do have Harley Quinn in there, and really,
Well, no,
sorry,
no, no. You
like
just said
I'm
wait, wait.
genuinely sorry to
You
say
just
this,
said the
but
entire, you said the entire series of jokes was in the 10 minutes of trailer that we've had so
yeah,
far.
yeah, and
That 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 is a problem.
and if you notice, probably 90% of those are all Harley, which is fine
That that's a
because
problem.
Harley is a mixture of joy and terror. Like she kind of balances it out very well. So giving her this super serious role, and she's like, like for example, whenever it is they see whatever they see, and she goes, "Whoa!" like a little kid. I expect that from Harley. Like I expect her to walk into the most serious situations and crack a joke, but at the same time be able to do work. So, from that perspective, because let's be realistic here, this is the Harley Quinn movie. uh,
It's
that's
clearly the Harley Quinn
it
movie.
it is. So having 10-15 minutes of humor in there, that would make sense because that's the way Harley Quinn is. It's like,
Well, but hold on. We're saying in the entirety of the trailers that there are 10, 15 minutes. Not all of the trailers are jokes. There was maybe most of the trailer was action scenes, honestly, and exposition. So we're maybe talking about 3 to 4 minutes worth of jokes. in an entire movie. And if it's anything like Batman versus Superman length, that's a lot of time those jokes are being spread out over.
Well, see, it for BVS, there's really only the like two jokes in there. There really is. There's Batman going, "Oh shit," and then the "Is she with you? I thought she was with you" exchange. That's really all the humor in the movie. But the movie is fast enough paced that you don't have to worry about that. But I think with Suicide Squad, they're going to give you some backstory, to set up. Well, this is why they're here. This is what we're doing, which is kind of iffy, and like expositionary shit like that in the story in movies is not really enjoyable. But I do think that that's going to be okay for this movie. I don't know, but we'll be finding out in like what, like 4 months. Shit, 4 months. So around the time that uh, World of Warcraft
We found
Legion
out
is.
how bad Legion is.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what? You know what? If Legion sucks that much, I'll just go see Suicide Squad. Yeah, yeah.
But what if they both disappoint you?
If they're both disappointing, then I'm going to cry. Like, not full on white girl cry. I mean, just like completely ugly cry.
No, no, I think you need to full on white girl cry.
I look. I literally just can't even. Okay, I literally just like can't even right now.
I'm really upset that the Powerpuff Girl remake has brought that back.
You expected it to be good. That amuses me. You know what? We can get into that like Wednesday because we're
Well, no,
like an hour
I
and
didn't
20
even
minutes now.
expect
So
it to be good. I didn't expect it to be good. I'm just mad that it brought those things back.
you know what?
I'm legitimately
That,
upset.
that actually makes a good topic for Wednesday. Now that you mentioned it, like for real, I haven't watched it yet, but I have looked at some reviews and I'm not sold on even watching it to be sure. So
I'm
yeah, I think we
very
can probably
hesitant to
talk about that
even
on
try.
Wednesday and like do some, like do some actual lengthy discussing about Powerpuff Girls then.
I am very hesitant to even try. Actually, we could talk about all the Cartoon Network shows they remade and how much worse they always are.
We could, like we haven't had a least favorite cartoon episode in nearly a year, so we can do that Wednesday, I think.
That sounds pretty good.
But yeah, that I think is going to be it for today. So please remember to like this video, comment it, share it, subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook, and rate Nick hot or not with the new microphone that he has.
Clearly, it has to be fire. That's their new choice. It's fire.
A cleansing fire on Gotham.
Sure, why not?
I'm sorry, but the Bane voice will never get old. It will never get like it. There is too much that you can do with it. Like just even directly quoting the movie. It is just it's fantastic. Like I'm tempted uh to at some point in time be out on the campaign trail. Which, by the way, uh, these are the last 2 weeks of actual campaigning I can do because it's almost time for the election. Yay! But I think what I'm going to do is
Woohoo.
mention the person I'm trying to replace right now to somebody and be like, and do you accept this man's resignation? And just get a kind of wiggle. Uh, seriously, damn it. Final thought about this. At least for now, go back and watch Dark Knight Rises and watch the wiggling that Tom Hardy does. Like he wiggles his hips when he's talking about Blackgate Prison. He wiggles his fingers in the sewers, and there's like two or three other times where he just wiggles something in the movie, and it's weird. It's weird. It is the strangest thing to even notice. But now that but like go back and watch it.
I feel like you're going to confuse people a lot because it's been a while since the movie's been out.
Yeah, it has been. But for real, go back and watch it, and just keep in mind, Bane wiggles. He fucking wiggles. He wiggles like I say, his fingers and his hips, and I forget what else he does. But go back and watch it. It's strange. You'll notice it.
Okay, I guess we're going to end on Bang wiggling.
Yep, yep. We're gonna end on the wiggling. So like I said, please remember to like this video, comment it, share, subscribe it, subscribe to the channel. Like us on Facebook. Tell Nick whether it's hot or not, and we'll talk to all of you Wednesday.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a great 2 days.
Bye, everybody.